Hello, 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 hello. How's everyone doing today? How is everyone doing today? How is, I gotta, 1 second here. Enter to win a spool of polymaker printer chow. In the video description. There we go. Pin message. There we go. Pin. How is everyone doing today? It is Saturday night. It is Saturday night. It is snowing out. Had a nice day. Had a nice day today. Didn't really do much today. Putzed around, slept in. It was nice to sleep in. Slept in late today. It was nice. I woke up and it was like, it was having a working furnace is so, it's like I got used to my house just being slightly chilly constantly over the holidays. And now that we got the furnace working again, it's like, oh, this is nice. This is nice. I miss this. Where did I put all my Allen keys? I don't know where I put them. I had, not this one. I had another thing. Did I have them on the other side? They might be on the other side of the garage. Or they might be downstairs. Or I might have brought them somewhere. I can't remember. Anyways. How's everyone doing today? How is everyone doing today? Lobby 7, Lobby 7. Core 1 Plus is now running and only fucked up one set of screws. Did you do the Core 1 to Core 1 Plus upgrade, or did you just get a Core 1 Plus build? Because that's something I haven't done yet. I need to do the Core 1 Plus upgrades on my Core 1s. As of right now, they're obviously still just Core 1s. I got to do the Plus upgrade. Although considering both of them are pretty much printing ABS constantly, and they are pretty much just living in the garage, I just keep them closed. So I'm not really missing too much from the Core 1 Plus aspect of it. The automatic opening and closing vents will be handy come the spring, but right now it's not that big of a deal. Keystone is only 6% open right now. No idea what that means. We don't get snow or cold in Colorado anymore. Oh, why not? Isn't Colorado like really cold? I've only ever been to Colorado in like April and May, and it's always been chilly. The filament sensor. Oh yeah, the filament sensor. Yeah, on the side. Yeah. Filament sensor is better. Yeah. So what are we doing today? We're working on the stealth changer. We've got some power supplies that we have to install into the printer. So we got to do that. As part of that, I did print. Did you just finish? Oh, I think that print just finished. Good timing. We printed some parts here. LDO has a mount for this. I'm hoping it works because I found it on the GitHub and I printed it. And if it works, it works. And if it don't, well, we'll have some problems. Same with the UHP mount. Hopefully I printed the right ones because we're going to need them. We're going to need them. What temperature are you at? Why are you still... Oh, you're at... Oh, yeah, you just finished. That print just finished. That's why. Babysitting a spool. Ooh, that's fun. There's so much trial and error. I finally got a multi-tool print for my printer. Nice! Nice! So let's see. Does this... So apparently how this works is I need to put some heat sets in there. So this mounts like this. And then I think... Actually, it probably goes this way. Oh no, it goes this way because then you mount these in here with the little clippies. Where are my clippies? There you go. So that will mount like that, and then you could clip it on. So we can mount it. This has to go this way because these ones mount like this. So I got to put some heat sets in there. So those screw on there. So this is going to mount like this. And then this one I can mount like that or like that. I will probably do that. Actually, what I'll do is I'll get the printer out and we'll figure out what actually works best. So let me put the heat sets in first. Let's do the heat sets first, get that out of the way, and then we'll start faffing around with stuff. I've been nuking Windows and moving to Bazite today. I actually want to speak about that. Jake Tivy, former LMG content creator, now has branched off and doing his own thing now. He just put out a video. A lot of other people, you know what? I am flashing. You can tell I do a lot of 3D printing. I am flashing Windows from my computer tomorrow. I am switching over. I'm gonna get Cache OS a try. It was either Cache or Bazite because I need my computer to game occasionally. I need one escape from reality. You know, so gaming is my escape from reality. So I need to be able to game, and apparently Cache is like one of the trendy. Pop OS. I've never used Pop OS. Pop OS gets recommended a lot. I don't know. They're all kind of the same, I've noticed. It's just like slightly different dependencies, slightly different packages, slightly different interface. Cache seems to be like the current flavor of the month trendy one. I have Linux, I have Mint on a couple computers in my house because Linux Mint is what I put on like stuff that I use that's hooked up to like a TV or whatever. So I have Linux Mint on that. My Framework laptop is running Bazite. I haven't had any issues with that, but apparently Cache is like snappier, which I kind of like. So we will give, I have it downloaded. I have it burned to it, or burned, I have it, whatever it is, to a thumb drive. Tonight I will back up everything, which I don't actually have much to back up. The way my entire like home network works is I have an Unraid server. So all my pictures, all my videos for the channel, for personal, they're all on a Unraid server. Everything I download goes for the Unraid server, everything. On my desktop, I just have programs and like stuff that like, you know, I don't need to worry about, right? The only thing I have to save is like, I use Firefox and I need to make sure that I back up all my like bookmarks, because that would be annoying, having to log it, you know, figure out what you had bookmarks for and everything, right? That would be really annoying, having to refigure out which bookmarks you have and reset them all back up again. So other than like that, I don't really have anything I need to like save. So I should have a pretty decent time, I'm hoping, switching over. So yeah, Firefox thing. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to use. I think I have a Firefox account. I can't remember if I set one up because I had Chrome, and then when Chrome started blocking ad blockers, I switched to Firefox. Email address. I have a couple email addresses. They're all Google. They're all Gmail accounts, so I'm okay there. I just need to make sure all my links are saved, like all my bookmarks and everything. And then obviously it's like, okay, all my video games. Well, all my video games are Steam. So I just re-download Steam, re-download the games. The only thing that would be really annoying is I have Fallout New Vegas that I have installed with like 90 something mods properly set up because I wanted to do a big Fallout New Vegas playthrough. And I started it and then I stopped it and I wanted to resume it because now I'm all into Fallout because Fallout Season 2 is out. And I'd have to set that up again. That would be annoying. But other than that, yeah. These computers out here and the one in the basement, I'm leaving on Windows. Simple for the fact that I don't know what software I need for 3D printing a lot of the time. Windows works with everything, on the downside of it being Windows. So you kind of have to deal with it, but it is what it is. So these computers that I stream from will keep Windows. Also, Fusion 360 doesn't really work in Linux. So if I need to do Fusion, I could just use the computer downstairs. So, and then DaVinci Resolve is like the only software I'm a little hung up on. But apparently all the issues I've had with DaVinci Resolve and Linux are because every time I've tried it, was on my laptop, which has an integrated GPU. And apparently DaVinci Resolve works pretty good in Linux as long as you have a dedicated GPU, which I have. So it should be pretty good. The only hang up I might run into is I use NVIDIA Broadcast when I stream games from the desktop for like background removal. I might have to figure out an alternative because I don't know if NVIDIA Broadcast works in Linux. But that's a minor thing that I'm not actually too concerned about. So, Fusion is getting, okay. Prusa Slicer, yeah, a lot. Prusa Slicer has a Linux build. Orca Slicer has a Linux build. Although, I'll be honest, most of the time whenever I'm slicing stuff, I do it from the computers in the room that the printer's in, usually. So, that is the plan tomorrow. And get that done, get that out of the way, and then I gotta start making videos for the channel. I gotta start actually editing, so that will be fun. I just got a K2 Pro. How do you see Clipper? What do you mean, how do you see Clipper? I see Clipper as a reasonably good operating system for 3D printers. That's how I see it. Some people see it as a boat sail. No, how do I see, like, are you talking about how do you get the unlocked Clipper interface and not the neutered one that Creality uses? I have a video on my channel for the K1C. It might work with the K2, but I don't know for sure. You might have to look into like your printer specific community for that. Like Google. Google is your friend. You might have to Google it. Yep. Gotta remember to bring my mug back inside. It doesn't work on Linux. I looked a few years back in the search right now. It doesn't show any news. Okay. Yeah, like all I used it for was background removal in OBS or for when I live stream, but it's not a huge deal. So I'm not super concerned about it. There are alternatives that I could do. Okay, so I don't know which way I need to mount this. This one, obviously, I can only really mount one way, so I'll attach this one right now. Might as well. And then we'll get the printer up on the desk. And then we will start. The goal today is I want to get everything ready to install the tool heads today. So we're not going to install the tool heads today because I still need to cut the extrusions down because it's snowing out and I'm not running a circular saw outside in the snow. I could use set up my chop saw in the garage and do it. I might do that. We'll see. But the plan is we gotta redo the electricals underneath the hood. So what we have to do is get the printer on the desk, take all the electronics out of the bottom, redo the bottom panel because I have some acrylic panels that I'm going to recut and hopefully it works. Redo all the electronics under it with the new power supplies and then put it back together. That's the plan for today. So while I'm doing this, what you're going to do is you're going to enter for your chance to win some polymaker filament, because every stream we give away a spool of polymaker filament, because polymaker filament's awesome. So if you want to get yourself a spool of polymaker filament, you can enter for your chance to win it. Link in the video description. Look at the pop-up. Also, while you're down there, don't forget to like the smash button, ring the bell, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and if you want to help support the channel, the content I create and things I do, consider becoming a channel member, Patreon supporter, or if you're really cool, gives you memberships to others. And if you happen to be new here, make sure you subscribe. That's a segue. Oop. Okay, M38s are too big. Can't use M38s. I need smaller than M38s. And for the power supplies, if you're wondering what's going on, the printer currently has like an LRS 200 24 in. We're gonna be switching it up to these two. This is a UHP 248. This is gonna power just our motors because this is gonna be a stealth changer. We need to go up and down real quick, like your mom, and 48 volts will help us with that. And then because we're gonna be running 4 tool heads now, you know, we don't have to run the motor. We're gonna be using this, which is the LDO LCP 324D5. This is, what is it? It is 24 volts, 275 watts at 24 volts and 25 watts of 5 volts. So this is a different power supply. This is new from LDO. Look how small it is. I love this thing. I'm talking with them. I want them to make this in 48 volts. I don't think they can do 12, 24, and 48 in one, but a standalone 48 volt power supply in this form factor will be really nice because I think it's a better form factor than these long boys. I think most printers are going bigger, it seems. And I think something like this would be a little bit better for people doing mods and whatnot. So, yeah. DIN rails. Oh yeah, we got to put DIN rails in this. I think I have one DIN rail, and I think I have a spare somewhere that I can cut up and put in. I seen it. Shoot, I saw it. Oh, okay, I gotta find it. I know I have it somewhere. I have an extra DIN rail I gotta put in this. Might be on the shelf somewhere. I'm gonna have to look for it. I have it somewhere. I saw it oh, here it is. Like, I saw the DIN rail. I know I have it. DIN rail. Might have to chop it down. So we'll see. 24 and 48 combo would be nice. So from my understanding, I spoke to, it might be easier to do in a power supply. It'd be really nice to do a 24, 48 volt power supply. But from my understanding, and this is speaking to, I think it was Big Tree Tech, because I was asking him, like, can you guys do like a Kraken that is just like a strictly 48 volt? Like that way, because half the reason I don't run 48 volts in my printers is it's at least a $50 upgrade, right? In this case, this power supply cost me like 70 bucks, right? 70 Canadian plus shipping and taxes and duties and all that. So what do you get? You get slightly more efficient motors. That's it. Your motors can run slightly better. And if you already have no issues with the 24 volts, going to 48 volts is just a cost, right? Because if you're already happy with how your printer's running at 48 volts or 24, going to 48 just increases costs and complexity, because now you need a motherboard you need a controller board that can support 24 and 48. Not all can support 48 volts. It makes it a whole thing. It would be really nice if you could just have one controller board that just takes everything up to 48 volts and it would just handle it. The problem is it's pretty easy to make a controller board take like 24 volts and then step it down to 12 and 5 and 3 volts for like CPU logic. Apparently dropping 48 down to 24 and 5 and 3, it's a lot harder and it doesn't work as good. That's the response I got from Big Tree Tech when I asked them about that. They're like, we've looked into it. The amount of like the components you need for it and like the electrical interference and the noise it makes. I just pinched myself. Hopefully I didn't. No, I'm good. It doesn't work as good. Okay. So that's why nobody makes a board that just runs on 48 volts. They have like a separate input for just the motors, and everything else on the board is 24. So while it would be nice, it's not, unfortunately, it's not really a viable thing, unfortunately. So maybe in the future, but not right now. Okay. Move this stuff all over here. Let's get the printer out on the desk. Let him, I said, no, I was screwing this on and I had my finger here and I pinched my finger. I got a bunch of skin in there. So the power supply, it should be a lot easier than 24 and 48 from my understanding. Yeah. The thing too is also a lot of people, I don't know if you can make a power supply this big that could do enough power to do the 24 and the 48 of a full-size printer. You might have to make this bigger. But also, if they just made this at 48 and you already have a 24 volt power supply, you just buy it, add it in. And then if you want 24 and 48, you just have two of these side by side, which two of these side by side, like here, let me get the printer out here. Let's move some stuff here, there. Oh, and I got a top hat for it now. Unfortunately, the top hat warped, but I do have a top hat for it. So you can't see it because it's off screen, but I do have a top hat on the printer. Move these guys so we don't drop them. You can live right here for now. Okay, is that all solid? Solid, okay. Let's lay you on your back. There we go. Hi, look at the bottom of my printer. It's a mess. But yeah, just to give you perspective. So this is an LRS 224. 1, 2. Yeah, so 2 of these, this is half the size of an LRS 224, which most people have in their printer. So you could easily, one of these, and bing, bang, boom, you're done. Okay, so the plan is, we need to take all this off today. We need to strip it because the Kraken is staying. The Raspberry Pi is staying. What is this? This is a Raspberry Pi 3. So we're sticking with the 3 because why not? I still need to replace this broken part. So remind me to print this before the end of the stream today. But we got to take this bottom panel off. I got to get this bottom panel off and we're going to have to put, do I have to cut this? Oh, I'm not going to have to cut this. Awesome. We'll put this in here, so now I'll have 2 pieces of DIN rail so we can mount the power supplies. Probably like that. Yeah, we'll probably do the power supplies like that. Okay, easy peasy, lemony squeezy. Take a picture, good idea. Click. Okay, so I forgot my LTTstore.com screwdriver inside my house. I gotta go get my LTTstore.com screwdriver. I'll be back in a moment, folks. I need to go get my LTTstore.com screwdriver. One second. Go. Hey, go to bed. There we go. I have returned with my LTTstore.com screwdriver. There we go. You should print that part before you forget. I should. So we're gonna have to undo all the electronics. I can tell this wiring is old because it uses wires that I borrowed from the tool shop I used to work at. Okay, how is this mounted? Oh, this mounts to that. Okay. So I'm gonna have to, how did I mount this? How did I mount this? Trying to remember how I put this together because I think I went through, I mean, oh, these are the original designs. Okay. Let's see. These are the originals. You know what? Okay, one second here. Let's get you off. I mean, this was printed on a V2.0. Okay, there's the SSR. So we got the solid state relay. It's a Cridom solid state relay. Everything under here is from before kits existed, by the way. So we need to remove this. So, hey, look, a bear. Oh, wow. Okay, never mind. The print's actually kind of strong. I'm twisting the extrusion. Never mind. Just gonna break it off. So that won't work. 1 second. Just a heads up, you might need to run some processing power limitation on a Pi 3. Change your mind. Yeah, I think I have a Pi 4. I might swap it. I'll swap it to a Pi 4. We're gonna have to reflash everything, probably, because the version of Linux on here is pretty old. How is it mounted? There's a bracket behind it that mounts the extrusion. I don't know how I screwed it in. I think I'm trying to remember how we used to do these back in the day. I don't know what size the screw is, that's the problem. And I can't really see it. Oh, that's why, it's because it's M3. It's an M3. I'm trying to put a, and that won't fit in there. How did I do that? That's not long enough. I mean, 1 second. 1 second. There we go. There we go. And you go in there. And hopefully these are hammerheads. I'm hoping these are hammerheads. Please tell me these are hammerheads. Otherwise it's gonna get real annoying real quick. I don't think they're hammerheads. 1 second. The joys of working on something you built 5 years ago. Oh, this was so much easier to do back when, before I put the bed on. How did I put this together? How are you supposed to put this together? Can I fit that in there? That won't reach. Oh, wait. This might reach. 1 second. Take you off. You off. Haha. Dang it, that won't reach either. I guess I'm undoing it a quarter turn at a time. I love undoing screws If you love undoing screws a quarter turn at a time, put a 1 in chat. Got half of mine just to take the extrusion off. The problem is the Allen key won't reach, or actually it might now that I've loosened it. Nope. Lefty loosey. You live your life a quarter turn at a time. Family. And of course the other screws are star heads, so I can't even get those in there. Let's try this. Let's try this. No, that ain't gonna work. Okay, you go in there. Aha. Find the live stream where I built it. I don't think I have this on live stream. We originally built this as a V2.4 on live stream. This printer, by the way, is the original printer I started streaming with. If you go back and watch the original live stream, like the very first live stream on this channel, it's this printer. It's this printer. There we go. Okay. So if you wondered why it was annoying to get it out, it's because there's a screw going here into the side of the frame and the Allen key wasn't long enough to reach it. So you had to like get super annoying. Trying to remember how I put this in the first place. Okay. There we go. There we go. Happy, happy, joy, joy. These are M4s, so I can't lose them. They'll probably come in handy. Pretty sure these are M4s I like stole from like a power supply or something, because like this is back before kits, so everything was self-source. Actually, one second. I have chat screwed up. Let me... Live chat. There we go. Now I can see all your beautiful faces. There we go. Okay. So, is there a way to see when this was made? When was this power supply made? Because that will give you an idea of how old this build is. Trying to see if there's a date number on it somewhere. I don't have a date sticker on it, unfortunately. I was hoping there'd be like a date stamp or something on it. Oh well. Okay. I will put you here for now, because I don't need you anymore. Miscellaneous M4 screws, there you go. Okay. So now we carry on, because we have to get... Oh God, I gotta... Take the feet up. Losing the feet. I want to lose the feet. Need the feet. Don't want to lose the feet. So don't let Quentin Tarantino in here. Can't lose these feet. Okay. If you're reusing the power supply, don't forget. I'm not reusing the power supply. We got new power supplies. That's what we're installing today. The plan today is basically we have to undo all the wiring so I can get this back panel so that we can replace this back panel with, shoot, where'd I put it? I know I have one somewhere. Where'd I put it? We gotta make a new back panel here. This one. So this is the, it's a spare panel from the Venture XL. So we're gonna have to cut it to size. And yes, I know it's not the right size, but I'll make it work. So we're gonna have to do that at some point. But I wanna get the panel out so I can use it as a template. Okay, so now let's cut you there. Take you off. Do you think I have enough ribbon cable for the screen? think I have enough ribbon cable for the screen. What are you? You're the camera. What are you connected to? You're running this. Okay. Okay, so are these labeled? Not really. Okay, let me see here. Oh, there we go. Let's see, what are these? 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So luckily there's not really a lot on here to unplug. So this actually ain't too bad. So 5. 6. 7. 8. Go. Okay, what are you? You are thermistor for bed. You are these big honking frickin' motors. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. So A is first. This is going to be going right back on, so I don't want to take too much off. And that is B. That's B. So A, B. That. This guy is... And of course, we're rocking Noctuas because we are, I don't know, running Noctuas. Trying to remember how this comes off. Did that break? Oh no, that just comes right off. Okay, there's Raspberry Pi off. Undo all these power parts. 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Should have checked where the SSR was plugged into. Oh, I think it was bed. I think it was bed is bed. Remember, guys, bed is bed. How many times has this printer been modded? I mean, every time it's been built. It is an original pedigree. This printer was originally a V1.5. It was built as a V1.5 with PETG parts because my Monoprice Select Mini couldn't do ABS. And then it was rebuilt as a V1.5, or correction, you want deep lore? Originally, this was a V1.55 in PETG parts, and then it was rebuilt as a V1.5. We don't talk about V1.55 for a reason. Rebuilt as a V1.5 with ABS parts. Had a few little tweaks and adjustments throughout its life, and then it was rebuilt again as a V2.4, or correction, a 2.2. Got mechanically built, but I never finished wiring it up. And then it kind of sat for a bit because 2.4 came out. And then I rebuilt it as a V2.4 as Tallboy, which we did on live streams, which was the very first stream series on this channel, was building this printer as a V2.4. Oh yeah, the mount's broken. The mount's broken. We gotta repair that. And then it got changed up where we swapped the gantry to the original printed gantry became a, it's a carbon fiber Chaotic Lab gantry. We gave it tap. So we got the Vitali CNC tap. what else? We did some other mods like the idlers and the beefy Z and whatnot. And then we put a Kraken in it. So it went from, I think it was a 5X Spider to a Kraken or something like that. Like it was something else. And then we have a Kraken. So this printer's been through a bit. And now it's being rebuilt as a, does it have 2 serials? Technically it does. This is serial number V1100. And then it's also V2 3 something, I want to say. I can't remember all my serial numbers. I'll be honest. Reddit.com/r/Voron design. Is that the one that shows your, no, which one's this? Voron. What's the one with serials? What's the subreddit with serials for? Voron Core XY, that's what it is. Yeah, that's the serial one, right? Yeah. Where's my flare? We're up to part 10 on the Voron registry. This is insane. This blows me away. I stopped registering my printers after like my second V2. Yeah, I stopped registering my printers after my second V2. Oh, I'm a mod on this subreddit, so I can't. I don't know. I think it's like 346 or something, or 24. I can't remember. Oh my god, how many? Is there a database? Is there a database of all the Voron serials? Like, did somebody make a? I thought somebody made a website or something like that you can search. I could have sworn. If there is, drop it in the... Yeah, I don't know how to see my flare. That might have it. But yeah, it's... I haven't applied for a serial. I've built all the Vorons except the Legacy. I don't need serials. Didn't say any. I thought she did. I can't remember. There we go. So this is a Kraken V1.0, not a V2 Kraken. This is a 1.0 Kraken. Trying to remember which Kraken has my fancy custom board. I think it's the VZBot has my fancy custom Kraken. Okay, so that's that. So this is held in. Oh shoot, this is held in with those. Okay, we're gonna. I forgot. This is held in with printed tabs. The joys of, I love taking apart old stuff and be like, what the hell was I smoking when I put this together? What the heck was I on? It was good, whatever it was. Whatever I was on when I built this, it was good. Okay. How am I going to get this out? How am I going to get this panel out? Can I get this panel out without dropping my motors? That's going to be annoying. That's going to be annoying. Kraken to Pi, is that USB data only? I think it was just power. I think I was using it for power. I can't remember. Because I had, yeah, the Kraken, I have it jumpered. I have the little jumper thing. So I think it's, yeah, I think the USB is power and then I'm communicating over UART or something. I can't remember. Or it's power delivery and then it is talking. I think, actually, I think those cables are for power delivery and then it was communicating over USB. So. Does the Voron team coordinate with LDO on the serials? No, LDO does their own thing. Like, what do you mean? I think like LDO, you get a plaque that you can put on your printer, but you got to write your own serial number on it. Like if the only thing that Voron keeps track of is like official Voron serials. So if like positron kits come with the serial, that's their own thing. That's not Voron. Yeah, this is how we mounted them before. We just kind of did that. So I think I'm going to mount them this way this time. So I'll go that and that, because hopefully these cables should be long enough. Yeah, I'll mount it like this and then like that. So we'll do power supplies in the back, that up front. Okay. So now I need to get this out. Nothing is actually holding this in place. Oh, there's a zip tie on this side. There we go. Wonderful. So this is an LDO bed. Why do I have an LDO? Oh, that's right, I swapped the bed out. Also, I have a big flex plate on this. Yeah, so if LDO has their own serial, that's their own thing. It's their own thing. So yeah, so this is gonna go this way. Okay, so take these little end caps off. So now we got to do some arts and crafts. This is gonna be fun. We got to make a new bottom plate. So the plan is, I've got this, which will go in here. So unfortunately, it's not actually big enough to fully seal it up. So we're gonna have a gap at the back, and I'll just kind of make it work. Because I don't actually have anything wide enough, I don't think. So we're gonna have to like print a little spacer, I think, to make it fully hidden, because I don't think I actually have anything wide enough. Yeah, those are all, that ain't gonna work, and that's Coroplast. I don't want to use Coroplast because it warps like crazy under heat. Thermal changes make it warp like crazy. Actually, wait. How big is this? That is too small too. The problem is this is an oddball size machine. So I don't really have anything that is stock for this machine. Like that won't fit. This is too big. So this is too big. And that's too small. So that's my problem. This is a back panel, by the way. Everything I have is for either not Vorons or stock size Vorons. And the problem is this isn't a stock size Voron. So if I use this, I have like a 1.5 inch gap along all the sides. So either I have a big gap around it, or yeah, I'm screwed either way. So I could use this, and I might use this, and then I'll just put little spacers on the top or just VHB it. Because at least with this, it already has holes in it. This already has holes in it at least, so I can kind of, you know. Do those holes even line up? Yeah, those holes line up. So this at least has holes in it already. So I could... Don't think that'll slide in there, no. I'm trying to think of how I could slide this in without having to take all the motors. Well, I got to take the motors off, they're broken. Duct tape, it would be aluminum tape, but same idea. You're broken, so you come out. You're broken. Put you over here. Yeah, that mount is busted right off, sheared right off, so I'm gonna have to fix that. Yeah, this is for a 300 and this is a 330. I know, right? I know. So here's the idea. Either I cut something that's perfectly to size and then we drill a bunch of holes and then I spend the whole day worried about breaking it because it's acrylic, or I just put the one that's slightly undersized in and I just cover the gaps with like panels on top. We're covering the gaps. We're going that route. That will be a lot easier for me to manage and a lot less annoying. We'll do that. Okay, panel peeling time. Who likes panel peeling? I like panel peeling. Put a 1 in chat if you like panel peeling. Custom one will make it look better. It wouldn't, because all I have is just acrylic, which I have to cut, which is a bitch. And then I have to drill all the holes, which could also be a bitch. And then I'm still gonna have a gap. I'll have the gap along the back, because also I have to notch all the corners too. We'll go with this. We'll go with this. And then I'll just make it work. Plus, this is matte. I know you could score and snap acrylic, but doing these corner cutouts, I got a feeling I'd screw it up. Plus, I already have this. I might as well use it. This would probably last a bit better in the heat. Holy shit, this is working. Almost worked. Almost worked. Yep. Cheap ultrasonic knives cut acrylic like butter. But I don't have one. That's the thing. It's like I don't... If I had one, I'd use it. What I'll do is I'll just 3D print some cover plates and just cover them from the top. It'll work. It'll be fine. It'll be quick, easy. I'll just 3D print them. I'll put a fun little design on it. They're accent parts. I'll make a little poop chute so it can purge into a chute out the side or something. I'll make it work. I'll make it work. Make it work. Make it work. There we go. QForge cover pieces. I haven't played with QForge in a while. Maybe I will. I haven't fired up QForge in a bit. Although I was a little disappointed because I want to put Linux on my desktop. I was like, you know what? I'll buy a new SSD that will 1 terabyte NVMe in it, and then I have like I think it's like a 1.6 terabyte SSD that I use for games. So the 1 terabyte has the operating system and then like any programs and whatnot. And then I have a 1.6 terabyte SSD that I use just for games. What was I gonna say? I was like, oh, I'll buy like a 2 terabyte and just use the one going forward. Because I uninstall games if I'm not playing them, and then I'll just download them again. I have 1 gigabyte internet, so downloading a game doesn't take any time. So I went looking, I'm like, oh no, not with these prices. I am not buying any new drives with these prices. F that, I'm sticking with what I got. What's the Z probe? It had tap, and because we're gonna go to a stealth changer, it's gonna stay with tap. So. Which one do you prefer, linear rail or smooth rod for speed? Oh, I prefer linear rails. I don't really care about speed on printers. As long as they're fast enough, I'm good. I'm not a speed benchy type person, and rails are much more robust and easier to work with on a printer and make a better motion system than rods. Rods, you have to envelop them. You don't have as many mounting options to them. You have to, when you get big, you can't support them mid-span like you can a rail. Rails are better than rods. Yeah. Pull straight away. Well, the problem is there's all these holes in it and it just keeps cutting or ripping around the holes. So it just tears when you get to the hole. Yep. I'm just happy that this isn't shiny. Any kit that comes with shiny acrylic and not matte acrylic, oh, I'm not a fan of shiny acrylic. Give me matte acrylic all day, any day, because shiny acrylic is just a fingerprint magnet. I have one build where I took a Scotch-Brite pad to all the shiny acrylic as soon as I unboxed it. I'm like, nope, I'm just gonna scuff it up because I'd rather have it be completely scuffed up than have like some areas perfectly shiny and then some scratch marks. I wish I had a sandblaster. That would be really nice because then you could just sandblast it and get a nice matte finish on everything. Okay, so behold our bottom plate. It is too small, as you can see. So I'll have to make it work, but for now, it'll work. So let's grab our bed stuff. Oh, that has that. Okay, that ain't going anywhere. So you're all gonna come out through this bottom hole then. How can I get this in here? How can I get this in here? So you're gonna go right there. You're my thermistor. God, I gotta fix all this wiring. Freaking mess of wiring. Okay, you go there. You go there, you go there. Because you are bed stuff. You're attached to that. Okay, that makes sense. And then thermistor. Oh, of course you're tangled in this giant mess of wires. Awesome possum. Of course you are. Oh, nope, you ain't coming out because I crimped a wire around you. So you're just gonna live there now. You're just gonna live there now. You just live there now. There you go. There you go. Rubbing with acetone also works to mat it. Ooh, there you go. Smoke panels. Smoke panels are nice, not gonna lie. Okay, so how can I get this in here without making a mess of things? So you're all gonna go there. I got one motor here. This motor's gone. So can I slide you in? And pivot. No, because I got that power supply there. I slide you in this way and nope. Nope. I'm trying to avoid taking the whole damn thing apart. Will you fit between these? Nope. Dang it. Do I have to drop that motor? I don't want to drop the motor because that requires doing a lot. biggest brain in the world. Such a big brain. The biggest of the big brains. El Braino Mucho Grande Supreme. That works. Okay. Hopefully that lines up. It does! Huzzah! So as you can see, we're gonna have some panel gaps, but I mean, if it's okay on a Tesla, it's okay on this, right? If a Tesla can get away with, you know, more panel gaps than I don't know, something with a lot of panel gaps, then we're okay here. Where's that? I love Tesla. Okay, one screw there. Okay, so how this is gonna work is we're gonna have, how am I gonna mount these guys? Do I want them this way and this way? Or do I want them this way and this way? That's too narrow, so we're gonna have to go this way and this way. We're gonna have to go that way and that way. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have to go that way and that way. So it's gonna be vertical and vertical. Okay. Make it work. Diagonal, be a rebel. Whatever. I do what I want. Don't want any heat escaping the bottom. 1 second. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? I want to cut this nice and straight. There we go. I swear, aluminum tape is the evilest thing in the world, because sometimes you can peel the backer off perfectly, and other times it is like, oh no, 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 no. You thought you could peel this off clean and easily? Hell nah, dog. You are gonna have a hell of a time getting this off. Okay, so this is gonna live. I'm just gonna center it. I'm just gonna center it, and we will live with the consequences of that. So right about there. So you're gonna have to come down a little bit. And we're gonna need some screws. Wow, these are different sizes. Okay. You're the camera. You're wiring for that. You come up this way so I don't break you. You come up that way so I don't break you. You're a camera. You go up here so I don't break you. Did I put a spacer in there? No, I'll leave it there for now. Okay. So you go there, you go there. So I'm gonna have to put another T-nut in there. Tall boy will become short boy. I mean, it's gonna be tall. It's actually gonna be taller boy, because it's gonna have a top hat on it. So tall boy is gonna become taller boy. It's just going to be... Okay, this is the stupidest thing I'm doing, trying to install these stupid teams. Put this in here. Slide it. Dang it! Son of a fucking... Okay. I don't think I have the fancy T-nuts. Snap in, come on. Come on, snap it. There you go. I gotta get you down here. Right about there. Okay. Woo! Okay. So we're gonna go right about there. Right there. Right there, right about there. Okay. M3/8s. Probably gonna need some washers, right? M3/8s are probably want a washer and probably won't actually. Yeah, M3/8s are too big. M3/6s. What did I drop? My knife! I dropped my knife on my foot. That could have been bad. And with some washers. I have 4 of, jeez. I need to buy more M3 washers. Run low. These are different DIN rails. One of these is like really cheap and the other ones are pretty robust. So you're gonna go about there. Go about there. You fit there and you don't fit there. So you're not gonna be that one. Yeah, you're gonna go right about there. Okay. Okay, so that's that. And actually this won't work because this is thick. And yeah, you need M3, I think. M3/8 washer. What the heck's going on? Are these not long enough? That should be long enough. Yeah, that should be long enough. Why aren't you working? This is so annoying. Trying to hold that there, you. There we go. 1. I'm gonna switch to M310s. Those are too short, I think. There we go. And put the DIN rails vertically. They would be too close together if I do them vertically. I want to have a little bit, I want to have as much room to faff about and adjust stuff as I can. Unfortunately, doing them vertically won't give me enough room. So I have to do them angly. How much stock pieces have to remain to consider a real boron? Oh. I honestly am pretty fast and loose with the definition, but if you want a serial, look up the rules to get a serial. If it qualifies for a serial, it's a Voron. That's pretty much my train of thought when it comes to that. If it qualifies for a serial, it's a Voron. So, trying to make sure I have this somewhat centered. Not super concerned. There we go. That'll do. There we go. Placement hardened nozzles. Nice. Has a lot hanging on to that. Okay, we're gonna have to go to bigger washers, I think. These little M3s are a little small, and I want to get a little bit more meat on the bone, if you understand what I'm throwing down. Now the problem is, I don't think this one lines up with that. So I'm gonna have to cut this. That's gonna suck. I have to cut this. Also, I gotta shift it because that's not centered at all. There we go. That is more centered. Finger up top. There we go. That looks good there. No. I don't know why I'm so... It's all going to be covered up by a top panel anyways. There we go. Okay, I got to cut this because this is too long. So let me... I don't think I have another one pre-cut. Yeah. Okay, what is the easiest way to cut these? Can I just... can I just cut them? Where are my shears at? I had shears. Ed, where are you? Where are my shears? Are they on this side? No. Do not have shears on this side. Dang it, Ed. Got these guys. Snips work. Yeah, but I don't know if I have actual, like... I've got cutters, but I don't have, like, tin snips. I don't think. Like, I've got, you know. Does an LDO, this isn't an LDO kit. Also, it's your Voron. You can build it however you want. And I want them going this way. Dang it, that ain't cutting it. Oh, actually, it is. Just a little mangled. That's just a little mangled. One second, where's... That is freaking horrible. 1 second. Where's my... That is disgusting. Battery's dying on this thing. Yeah, I gotta charge that. There we go. Better. There we go. Okay. If I did them this way, they'd be pretty close to each other. This way I can have them, I think I get more of a space between them doing them this way, because that's about that versus, yeah, they'd be closer together if I did them this way. I'd rather have them a little bit further apart, have the power in the back, and then the electronics up front. I kind of like doing it that way. It's your printer. Do what you want. Whatever, I do what I want. Yeah, LDO kits don't have a Kraken and 2 power supplies. That's another thing too, remember kids. This is entirely off reservation with this build. A stock LDO kit doesn't have 4 tool heads, 2 power supplies, a Kraken, an off-spec SSR, and is in a 330 print volume frame. So we are off script completely. These are the kind of printers I love building, where you're making it work as you go. Neurostein, like, is that like Frankenstein, Neurostein? That was such a good movie. If you haven't watched the Frankenstein movie yet, go watch it. It's such a good movie. Oh, I got a feeling that didn't. Yeah, that didn't catch. Shoot. Nope, that's not catching. Why is that not catching? Urine. Nope, that's not working. 1 second. Oh, how much you want to bet? I'm gonna have to. Gotta make this stupid thing bigger. Stupid. I gotta make the slot bigger on this. I need a bigger slot. I should probably charge my Dremel. Yeah, it's dead. I need to make that slot bigger. Let me go get a drill. Get my drills downstairs. 1 second. Power supply. There's a drill. So this is the annoying part about doing this, is I have to drill a hole to make a slot bigger that is already like, am I gonna butcher this? I'm gonna butcher this. 1 second. I'm gonna be a complete butcher here. 1 second. Oh, where are you? Where are you? I know you're in here somewhere. Where are you? Yeah, we are totally gonna butcher this. We are totally gonna butcher this. Don't do what I'm about to do. Don't do what I'm about to do. Don't do what I'm about to do. My battery dying? That's why. Battery's dying. Where's my other drill? I don't know where it is. My other drill. Over here. There it is. Swap batteries. Why charge batteries when you can just swap batteries, right? As long as the other battery is charged. It is! Oh yeah, that's some chooch. I didn't even break it. Nice. Okay. Yeah, don't do what I just did. That is not the proper way to do it. It's not the optimal way to do it. It's not the right way to do it. It is a way to do it, though. Okay, try to get all that there. I don't know if that's enough, but we'll see. That's my end mill work. I wish I knew where my needle files went. I used to have a set of nice needle files when I did mold making. And I put them somewhere. And I don't know where they went. I haven't seen them in a while. Wish I knew where my needle files went. I got end mills, I got grooves, Allen keys. No needle files though. Oh, you guys are so lucky I have noise canceling. I got noise canceling enabled. The sound of this is like chalkboard level. There we go. Remember, this is the content you guys come here for, right? To watch somebody use a drill bit with an end mill to machine a slot in a piece of aluminum for a 3D printer, right? That's the this is the quality content you guys are here for, right? Be sure to like the button, subscribe, and if you want to help support the channel, content creating things I do, because this content deserves your support, obviously. If you're a channel member. There we go. There we go. Okay, now I got to fix these because I got to add washers to these. Which these are nice because these have T-slots in them. Or these are the ones that don't move. So I should just take this out. Fits panel. Yeah, it got less panel gaps than a Tesla. I feel bad about that because I built molds for Tesla. And it's sad because it's like I knew what the conditions the molds were when they left the shop after I put them together. And I knew the quality of the parts that came out of them. And then when I see one on the road and it's like, what you guys, it's like, what's his name? It's like, in the movie, what you do to my boy? Where's your mill? It's on the other side of the garage. It's not plugged in. That's the problem. I need to get the workshop side of the garage set up proper for this kind of stuff. Thomas! Gifted 20 community memberships. Cheers and appreciated. Where are you at again, Thomas? I know you're down in South America because you get the discount on memberships. I'm trying to remember. You're not in Venezuela, are you? Somewhere down in South America. I can't remember where though. Okay, there we go. So we got that there. I'm gonna take this off for now, so you guys can see this beautiful work I'm working on. Okay, where did I put that Allen key? Because now we're gonna actually start putting on power supplies. Where did I put the Allen key? Uh-oh. Whatever. You can tell it's an old Voron thing when you don't have screw clearance. Okay, how did I lose my Allen key? Is it under the printer? Nope. Well, there's a bunch of stuff that fell under the printer, but not that. Oh, I lost the Allen key because I actually put it away for once. Yeah, you get the discount. Venezuela safe. Venezuela is, and I could talk about what happened in Venezuela quite a bit, because I'm one of those guys that follows that stuff. But if you know anything, what they did is, it's not a good omen. Yes, the guy was bad and needed to go, but in doing so, opened a can of worms. It's one of those things like, oh yeah, bad guy goes away. What's the complaint about? It's the whole justification and the whole, it's not good. Okay. So we'll put 48 volt here. So where's the in and out? So we'll do this. So main is in the middle. Okay, so there's that. Now, if the US can do it, yeah, because it's like, here's the thing. The US had justification. They're like, hey, this guy broke American laws. He's going to serve American justice. So we went and got him. It's like, cool. So does that now China can go, hey, the president of Taiwan broke Chinese laws. We're going to go grab him. Are they allowed to do that? No. Was the US allowed to do it? I don't, like, you know, this is now one of those things. Are you now allowed, like any country in the world, to say, this person broke a law. We're just going to go in there militarily and extract his ass. Like, it's a can of worms that I don't like being open. Okay, and then what we'll do this one, we'll put this, you know what, we'll go this way too. Yeah, we'll do this, so that way all the main is here in the middle. Okay, so that'll go here. So now we have the lower voltages on the outside, and we have mains in the middle here. That's nice. That's nice. Which is good, because we'll run power from here to here first, and then because this has two, you see how it has two connectors for like live, neutral, and ground. So we'll do going in, and then the one coming out will connect right over to this guy. Okay, so if this is going to go this way, that means these need to go on this way. So I need to mount these. Okay. Plus, I don't think they actually have a plan on what to do, because they didn't topple the regime. They just rode in, blew up a bunch of SAM sites, grabbed the president, and left. The government is still in place. They didn't, like, do anything to get regime change going. They just took the president and left. Because I seen Trump in his little speech today. He's like, yeah, we're going to be working with the new vice president. And the vice president puts out things like, nah, dog, bring me back the president. He's still in charge. It's like, what the hell? Go watch his press conference. It is insane. He's like, yeah, we're just going to go do this in Cuba next. And like, what? What? Why would the winner of the FIFA Peace Prize do this? When Venezuela, I thought to myself, I do. So the thing is, Venezuelan oil, actually, you know who this screws over a lot? You want to know literally who this screws over a lot? Canadians. This screws over Canadians a lot. Because one of our biggest bargaining things we have with the Americans is the fact that we produce crude oil. And we produce the heavy crude, which is not the stuff the Americans produce. The Americans produce light crude, which is good for like gasoline and whatnot. But you still need heavy crude, which you get from, or what you still need heavy crude, what Canada was selling to the US. So now we've kind of lost our bargaining chip, because now why would they buy it from us when they can just, you know, acquire it from Venezuela? So we just lost one of our biggest bargaining chips with the US, with, you know, so I fully expect him to go back into annex talk mode, and then it's like, oh shit. As much as I am a fan of the movie Red Dawn, I don't want to be reenacting it against the Americans. Well, and yeah, Deanna, all he has to do is just get some Trump coin and he'll be good. Yeah, Venezuela has the largest stores of crude oil in the world, but it's like heavy crude, which it makes it expensive to process, but it is, you still need it though. Like there are certain things that you need heavy crude to make. I'm pretty sure it's like light crude is better for fuels, heavy crude is better for like plastics, I think, if I'm not mistaken. There is a reason to use it. He's giving China, yeah. They're moving back to, the scary thing is they're moving back to a Monroe Doctrine thing where basically it's gonna be like, okay, US controls the Western Hemisphere, China, you can have everything else kind of thing. It's moving towards that, where everyone's kind of going back to insular instead of global, which I don't like. I like the global economy. I like everyone being friends and everything being stable. So, it is what it is. So this goes to that. That goes to that. Okay. And then you're going to mount on there. And then with the live going towards the middle. So I need some screws here. Oh, look, I'm just going to use all these random screws I have sitting around. That'll work. Henry Kissinger. Oh, it was a lot of people were happy when he finally left us. Like, it's hard to believe that we're still dealing with like everything that we deal with globally is still like ramifications from World War II. It's like, I can't wait for that section of human history to be over and us move away from like that. How does Volkswagen sell transport? I don't know. I have no desire to buy a Volkswagen. I like my Subaru. Oh yeah, this is all, hey guys, remember that? Oh my God, wow, yeah. That was extremely shocking, the invasion of Venezuela. So about those Epstein files. Yeah, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on who you ask, dude's falling apart. Dude is falling apart. I highly doubt he's going to survive his term, which is kind of scary if you think about it, because who's going to take over? Okay. So that goes here, that goes there. Click, click. There we go. So those are those two power supplies in. And then we unleash the Kraken. And we're gonna have to have the Kraken go this way, because we got power here in the middle. Or actually, we're gonna go this way with the Kraken, because I want all the wiring's up here, and then that way I can just run cool air down the middle to cool that. So we'll do this. So you go here, you go there. So we might have to extend wires, but I'm okay with that. Ooh, snapping that on feels so bad. Oh. Oh, come on. You're on. There we go. Okay, you're on. I don't like how much that one slides, but shouldn't be too big of an issue. Okay, you're there. I will put the Raspberry Pi back on, but we're probably going to replace this Raspberry Pi with a Pi 4. But I will put it on for now, just for consistency. Just so we have it, so we can just kind of plan around where the Pi is going to live. There we go. Okay. So that is that. There we go. I'm having it hang off the edge of my desk, and I'm hoping it doesn't fall. Okay, so we're gonna have to figure out where to mount my solid state relay now. Shite. We're gonna mount it right on the side of that. Yeah, I'm gonna take this screw out, and I'm just gonna mount it right to the side. gonna go right back where it was. Yep. SSR is gonna go right here. By the way, this is one of those super sketchy SSRs. You notice how there's no cover plate? I should probably go see if I have an SSR with cover plates. This one doesn't have cover plates. This has mains just there. Like, bzz, 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 bzz. You can easily cross the streams with this guy. Now, to be fair, it's a Crydom heavy duty one, I believe. It's a 25 amp. So let me go take a quick look downstairs and see if I have one that isn't sus. I know I've seen one. Where is it? Are you in this bag? Nope. This one. Nope. What about over here? This one. Nope. Oh, maybe you're in here. You're a... Oh god, that's a no-name brand. What about here? What do we got here? What do we got here? Okay, so we have some options. We have some options here. So, we have a Aru or a Dimwood. Aru or Dimwood. Those are the two we have. They're in my box of spare parts. They're both made in China. One's a 40 amp. One's a 25 amp. I got half of mine to just stick with the Crydom. I think I trust the Crydom a little bit more because the Crydom's actually like a legit brand. Whereas these are, at least the 40 amp one, the rule of thumb, go with whatever weighs more. Probably the Crydom or the 40 amp. Rule of thumb, back in the day, the rule of thumb was basically either spend the money on like a legit name brand SSR, or if you are gonna go the China route, over-spec it a shit ton. Because like, oh, even if it's only good for a third of its voltage or half, well, if it's a 40 amp SSR and it's only really good to 20 amp, but you only need it to do 10 amp, you're okay. That was the thinking. So a lot of us just use like 40 amp randoms because like, you know, your average bed isn't pulling half of that. So you're okay. Yeah, we'll stick with the Crydom and I'll just figure out a cover plate or something. I don't like the mains being exposed like that, but it is what it is. So, yeah, because that goes to the bed. Yeah, that's the bed. And then this goes to live, I think. Yeah. That's positive. I'm trying to remember, do you wire up the... Yeah, whatever, I'll figure it out. Okay, so you're gonna go there, so you can unscrew. I think I need an M4 for this. Are you an M4 or are you an M3? Oh, those are M3s. Okay. Never mind. Gonna be hanging on by a single M3. That's gonna be great. Not optimal. Not optimal. I'll take it. Forget to ground it. It's going to be attached to the side of the power supply, which is metal. So it's going to be grounded. It's just going to sit right here on the side of the power supply. That's where it was before. So, yeah, it's grounded. Need to find an M3 washer. I just used the last 4 M3 washers I had. I don't think I have any more M3 washers. Got 5 washers. These are 2. Big frick. How do I have no M3 washers? Seriously, how do I have no M3 washers? Do I have M4 washers? No, of course not. Sent an STL in the Discord for me. Cridom SSR cover. Cool, I'll print it. I will print that. Cool. Okay, let me just take a quick look all over my desk and see if I have an M3 washer in there. Honestly, I probably have better luck looking on my floor. No. Washer. Yeah, remind me to buy M3 washers next time I do an order for stuff. Because somehow I am out of M3 washers. I don't know how. I don't know why. Got one right here. There we go. It's not flat, but it'll do. M3 washer. Okay, there we go. There we go. That works. There we go. Please tell me that hole is tapped. That's tapped. Why aren't you going in? Okay, what's going on here? Why is this M3 screw not going in? Is this one tapped? They did not tap it all the way. Son of a bitch. I love tapping holes. Imperial? I don't think it's Imperial. Why would it be Imperial? Actually, I don't even think it's tapped. I just don't think it's tapped. Can you tap it by hand? Let's find out. How soft is aluminum? Yes, I'm tapping something with a wrench. So. Oh, tap, tap, tap. Put an M3 tap in a gun drill. Dude, I've seen some weird shit over the years. You'd be surprised. I've seen a collet in a drill holder in a collet holding a tap. Like, the worst way you could do it, and it had to be that way because nothing else fit. I'm like, oh my god, the machinist is like, this is horrible. I'm like, yep. Like, why don't you put it on the other machine? Well, it's like, either I do it this way or I tear it all the way down and do it another way. And I'm like, why don't you do it by hand? He's like, I don't want to. I'm like, okay. Please, please actually bite. Please. Please bite. Oh wow, it ripped the thread right out. Okay, it ripped the thread right out. Shoot. Okay, I might have to actually print a mount for this and just mount it sideways. You know what? I'm just gonna print a mount for it and just mount it like here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to print a mount. It's... yeah, that ain't gonna work. Don't think M4 would work either. I mean, they have this screw. You know what? Actually, 1 second here. They have a screw here. Meant for grounding. It's probably why the M3, I could tap it by hand. It wasn't actually tapped. VHB. If it wasn't an SSR, I would VHB it. But it's a solid state relay, so it kind of does need to be a little bit affixed properly because it does heat up. Not a lot. Like your SSR on a 3D printer shouldn't be getting that hot at all. Yeah, it's got nothing. That's got no bite. Yeah, rip the threads out of that. So maybe this side. Try this side one second. Let's try this. You go there. Okay, actually bite. Please bite. There we go. There we go. Okay. That's good there. Okay. And then that. Plenty of room. There we go. Okay. Sweet. So now we have the SSR mounted. This guy is going to have to go to... Do you switch the live or the negative? I think it's the live, right? Okay. Helicoil. I might actually have some helicoils somewhere. I don't know where, and they're way too big because they would be for mold making stuff. So like big. Who DM'd me from grants? No. And do I gotta ban someone on the Voron Discord? No. There we go. There, good there. Good there. Let me just check up on everything. Good. I had to use a helical on my engine block earlier. Yeah, we used them in molds. It depends on the side. Sometimes we would just weld it. So you just weld in a plug or something. Or if it's a small hole, just fill the whole hole with well. A lot of times we use, I remember when the, over in the Trio Bay, the planums that you mount the molds to. So it's like the press opens and closes and they have plates with all these holes in it that you can mount the mold to, and there's like a set pattern to them and whatnot. Every couple of years, you would have to go through and check the thread on all the holes on the plenum with a go no go gauge, because the holes would wear out eventually, right? Especially the ones that were used a lot, because they were just impacting them in and out constantly. And as the threads wear out, they don't hold as much. And obviously if you're holding like 100,000 pound mold, you clamp it to all hell and back, but you still, you know, need to ensure that they're still good. And every now and then they would start to wear out, and it's like they would get marked up, and then once a year maintenance would go in there and have to open them all up, tap them to another side, and then helicoil them. And I had to do that once, and it sucked. It sucked. Sitting there, mag drilling, 1 inch 8 tapped holes, opening them up to like 1.5 inches, tapping them. So you're sitting there with a big bar, tapping them by hand, and then putting in the helicoil and breaking it off with a lot of the red Loctite, all the red Loctite. Okay, let's start wiring this bad boy up. So how we're going to do this is we've got 2 power supplies here. Okay. So this is going to have to hook up to live, so that's okay. And this is going to have to hook up to negative. Okay. So we're going to go from here to here to here, and then hook up the bed. Makes sense. M3 helicoil is JB Weld. Pretty much. Pretty much. Okay, let's get these little cover plates off. Hopefully I don't lose them. And does that just open up? The 3D print is in the way. There's 3D printed parts on these, and I wish there was a bit more clearance. Can you see that? I don't think you can see it. I don't think there's enough there, but okay. So I'm assuming, how did I wire this up? Well, ground is green, so that's easy. So ground is green. Do these fit in here? Oh God, these don't fit in here. Shoot, I'm gonna have to re-crimp all these, I think. Son of a bitch. Those fit, okay. Oh, that does just come off. Okay, we might have to re-crimp all these. It's gonna be annoying. It's actually kind of annoying doing it this way too, so you guys can see, but don't exactly have a mobile camera right now. Took a picture. I took a picture. I think. Hey, black is live. Okay. Let's get rid of this stupid wrap, because I'm gonna have to shorten all these. Yeah, I'm gonna have to shorten all these because these connectors are too big. 16 to 14. Yeah, I think this is 16 gauge. Stealth changer tomorrow? What do you mean stealth changer tomorrow? Stealth changer today. We're not stopping the stream. You are all staying here until this build is done and the printer is printing. Y'all ain't going home. Okay. So black is live. Y'all ain't going home. The authentic machine shop experience. I still remember we had a apprentice working with me, and it was like stupid busy. This was like during a period where I worked like 40 days in a row, and like the last weekend we had a bunch of new apprentices start. So they come in because, you know, they're new, so they want to, you know, impress everyone and whatever, so they say yes to everything, and the company takes advantage of them for that. But so it's like we work like 8 hours on the Saturday finishing up this mold, and then we come in on the Sunday, and it's like one of those, come in, and whenever we finish you can go home. So it was supposed to be like a 5-hour day. We were there for like another 9 hours finishing this mold up so it could ship Monday to the customer. So it's like 6 p.m. because we showed up at like, oh, it'll be a quick little day. You could guys show up, instead of showing up at 6:30, show up at 8. So we showed up at 8, we worked till like 6. It sucked. But anyways, as we're like cleaning up, right, because everything's done. We had it done for noon, and then it turns out we had to take it back apart to fix something and then put it back together because the PM screwed up. Good old PMs. But anyways, long story short, we finished it all. And the poor little apprentice, because it was me, my team leader, and the project manager for the mold, and then also like the foreman was there too. And he looks over the foreman and he's like, so does this mean we have Monday off? We all just kind of looked at him. We're like, oh, sweet summer child. Be here at 6:30 tomorrow in the morning. I'm like, this is day 36 in a row, or day 35 in a row for me or something. Oh, sweet summer child. There we go. So I did leave a little bit extra so that I can, I'll put a thing here. So I don't like wires being unsupported. So I will put like a little clamp on here so I can zip tie them down. So at least they're somewhat supported. That's the idea. Because you don't want your wires being like loosey-goosey, because that's just asking for something bad to happen. I've been following. I haven't been following it, but I have seen it. It's pretty cool. I mean, to be fair, all it is just good programming and a good CNC machine. Anyone can do it, but you need to have good programming and a good CNC machine. I don't know, did they end up crashing at all when they were cutting that thing? It was like 10 hours. It was more than 10 hours because they streamed all day yesterday too, I think. I think it was a multi-day thing. Okay, neutral, which is white. You're gonna go in there. And then green. You're supposed to be attached to something. Oh, okay, I gotta fix this 1 second. What are you a ground for? Oh, you're ground for the bed. There we go. Don't believe they crashed it. Nice. You know what's funny? That part would have been nice to be, that's a part, like I'm pretty sure I saw the CAD for it. That's a part design that would actually make sense to FDM. Do it, not FDM, but like SLS it in metal. It's like 20 hours of machining. You need to take your glass-filled nylon parts out of the oven. Are you baking parts without us? Okay, now the fun part. So now we have to connect this to this. So. any of these fit? Or can I salvage any of these, or do I gotta make all new cables? I think I gotta make all new ones. It's gonna suck. Because we need to add the bed to one of these, so we'll do that now. So the bed goes there. This one I'm going to shorten because that doesn't need to be that long. Oh, I know. I'm going to be using the cutoff ends of the wires for some of this. Don't worry. I am aware. To come up here, and shoot, can I get you to come in there? There you go. Okay, you go there, you go there. This ground, that you can get shortened. Don't want you to be that long. Some red ones here. Hope baked enough for the whole class. Did you bring enough for everyone? I always find it funny when you had teachers that would try that shit and they'd be like, yeah. Would you like some? I had one project manager, Bung, great guy. He's Vietnamese, or not Vietnamese. He would kill me if he heard that. He was Hong Kong Chinese. He was my team leader for a couple of years, and great guy. Barely spoke English, but great guy. It was funny because he was very like work type person. He was all about work. Nobody knew a damn thing about him in his private life, other than he was married. He had a kid. And that's it. That's all we knew about him. All he ever talked was work, because nobody understood him, so nobody really talked to him. But anyways, so he was very much he didn't like when people were late. He didn't like when people left early. He was very much about work. And we had one guy he came from another team and was like attached to our team, like during like a yearly reorganization. They moved the teams around. And this was one of those guys that they were late at least once a week. And to make up for being late, they would bring in like a donut. They would bring in donuts for the team or whatever, or coffee. So the first time he's late, Fung's like, why are you late? And he's like, oh, sorry, alarm didn't go off or whatever. But he's like, oh, you got time to go get fucking donut, but not time to come to work. I don't care about donut, I carry work. The guy had the reason I'm really good at understanding bad English is because of him. You would think being here for like 30 years, he would get good at English, but he didn't. He didn't care. He just cared about work. Okay, so that is that. So now we got to make some little connectors here. So we'll start at the bottom. Now I don't want these to be too tight, so we gotta have a little bit of a loop. He's not wrong. Oh, I know. That actually annoyed me. It was really annoying to see people come in late for work and just be like, oh, it's okay, I got donuts. And it's like, I don't want donuts. I want you to be here on time so you can work. Especially when they're like 5 minutes late and they have donuts. It's like you would have been on time if you didn't get the donuts. Also, they're Tim Hortons donuts. They suck. You don't get credit for bringing in shitty donuts. Like, oh, you showed up late from lunch and you brought everyone, you know, pizza? Oh, okay. I can work with that. Being late for work and bringing in shitty donuts? No. Live. These ones I might have to take off. I think these are the ones that you gotta be a little funky with. Because I don't think these will fit in. Yeah, so I gotta take that off. There we go. What if they're homemade donuts? I mean, if you can make good homemade donuts, you can make good homemade donuts. Problem is, when you show up and you got cold coffee, like, you bring in a thing of Timmy's coffee and you're like, oh, look, I got a thing of Timmy's coffee. It's like, did you grab any sugar or sweetener? No. So you brought in the worst kind of coffee to drink without a load of sugar. Yeah. And you're late. Yeah. Where'd the red go? I had a red one. Did I drop it? Could have sworn I had a red one. Or be black, right? Black. Well, I did black. Where did I put the white? Oh, white's right here. No, that's too short. Ooh, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't think I have any more white cable anywhere. That's a bit annoying. Make that shorter? No. Don't think I have white cable. Shoot. 1 second. I don't want to grab red because it's already white. I don't want to. Let me run downstairs. 1 second. Let me check downstairs. Check my inventory. See what I have down here. I want to keep the color coding original. I don't want to mess with the color coding. What I got in here? Nope. 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 Dang it. Nope. Shoot. What about you? What about you? Ah, that'll work. What gauge are you? You'll work. You'll work. I don't want to change the color. I don't want to change the, because this is mains voltage. I don't want to change red and white or black and white to red and black. I want to use red and black for the lower voltage sides. What gauge is this? 18 gauge? 18 gauge should be fine. 18 gauge should be fine for going from there to there at 110 volt. That's low amp. We're good. 18 will be fine. I think. Yeah, because I don't think I have thick white anywhere. Yeah, that's, yeah, 18 gauge will work. She's got a framework 16. Nice. I actually checked the framework site today just to check. And it's funny how much of everything they are sold out of. They are like completely sold out of like their laptop or their desktops. Because with the RAM prices and everything, it actually made more sense to buy like the base model framework desktop all-in-one motherboard there. Because it comes with like 32 gigs of RAM. It comes with the AMD AI whatever chip or whatever, the AI Max chip or whatever. And it turns out to be like a more powerful setup than you can buy the components alone right now. The only downside is I don't think you can put a GPU with that framework desktop. I think it's only like a PCI Express 4X slot. And I don't know if it has like the tab cut off so that you can like put in a full-size GPU. At 10 amp. Okay, considering this power supply can only do 4.2 amp, I'm sure we're good. That goes there. And then you'll just go there. Halo Strix is really fast. Yeah. So like they were saying that, and then I checked on their website, and they're completely sold out. Like you can't go framework. Like you go to framework, and it's like the desktop configure. I don't even want to know how much this is Canadian. Yeah. So you can buy this for $1,500, and it's ready to go out of the box. 32 gigs of RAM. Jeez, look how much of the difference. But the thing is, it's like, oh, just buy the parts, right? You know, we'll just buy the desktop part. You can't buy the desktop parts, shop parts. You can't. The only motherboards. Oh, they have them back. Okay, I checked this like 20 minutes ago, or like just before going live. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. So they do have them back in. Okay, maybe it's just, I don't know. But yeah, so if you buy this by itself, use a random power supply, and print a case or something, add your own storage, there's $1,200. This is the cheapest. Yes, but it's, yes, Joda, that looks expensive. So this is Canadian. This is Canadian. Okay. So let's put it back in Yankee Doodle dollars for our international audience. So $800. So $800 US. All you need to add is a power supply and storage. And you have a decently capable desktop. The only downside is you can't add a full-size GPU. So if you're doing something that doesn't need GPU and you're building a computer right now, it really sucks, because you want to know what sucks? So this is the whole computer, 1300, Amazon.ca, DDR5, 32 gig. So an entire computer is $1,200, or you could just buy the RAM for almost $600. Look at this. Actually, Corsair. Oh, this is DDR4. That's why. Yeah, it is stupid right now. Like, my computer is a couple years old. It's got a Ryzen 5, or it's got a Ryzen 7 5800, a 3090, a NVIDIA 3090. I got 64 gigs of RAM, DDR4 RAM, but I got 64 gigs of it. And it's like, I hope nothing on that dies anytime soon, because I am not building a new desktop anytime soon. So yeah, 1500 X3. I wish I had an X3D, and I was actually planning on, like, in a year or two, hunting one down. The problem is all the AM4 X3Ds are out of stock everywhere. And I don't know if they're going to be making any more of them, because everyone basically had the same plan. It's like, you know what? With how expensive everything is, instead of building, like, you know, for those of us that built an AM4 computer in like 2018, right? Or 2019. And it's like, you know, I'll upgrade to AM5 next year or whatever. And now everything's stupidly overpriced. And they're just like, well, I'll just pick up, you know, an upgraded CPU. I'll go from my Ryzen 2700X to a 5700X 3D. It's amazing, but nope, everyone had the same idea, and now they're out of stock everywhere. So it's like, welp. Okay, the fact that this keeps moving, I don't like. I'll have to fix that. Okay, and now I need to ground. I need a ground. I'm gonna put a ground in here, because this doesn't have a ground. That has a ground. This needs a ground. Because I think there's also, yeah, I gotta put a ground in here. Okay. Will that fit? No, I'm gonna have to replace both of these ends. Great. Went from 27X to the 5700X and the 57. Yeah. So I got a 5800X. It would be nice to have an X3D 5800 or 5700 X3D, but that ain't happening. So I might want to spin production. Well, the problem is it's all made at TSMC and they need fab time. And the problem is all the fab time is being spoken for. The reason RAM is so expensive right now is because freaking Sam Altman and ChatGPT literally went to like the people that make the wafers or whatever and went, yeah, we are reserving 40% of everything next year right now, and threw cash on the table because they have infinite money for some freaking reason. So they're able to basically buy out all production for the next year. So all these companies are basically going, why make stuff for the consumer market with like a 10 to 15% markup when we can make stuff for the infinite money hole that is the AI bubble and make a 40% markup? And that's what they all did. So good luck buying anything at a decent price anytime soon, because it's going to be, until the bubble pops, we're screwed. So 6 to 8 months. Yeah, I'm hoping the bubble crashes. I'm hoping all these AI folks realize it's not really AI and it's never going to get what they want. They're all thinking it's going to lead to AGI and LLMs. It's like saying we're building such a good car that it's going to fly. Planes are planes, cars are cars. LLMs are not AI. They're just really good predictive text. But they think it's going to be an AI and it's going to revolutionize everything, and it's like, I don't think so. I think it's just a money pit. It's the only thing holding up the economy right now. Clone index look like someone DIY it. Maybe there's been a couple types of that style of changing the extruder. Do you have a link to it in the Discord? I'll take a look. AI data automated. Well, at least it's not like actually Indians. Like, what was it? Oh, what was the store Amazon bought that they're like, oh, you can walk in the store and you can, cameras are tracking you, you just grab whatever and leave and it'll just automatically bill you. And like, it's totally AI powered. And then it just turns out it's actually just Indians, because there's just like a call center in India where they just had people watching everything. Or was it the Meta AI leader where, he got all his money setting up a company that made data for AI, so he trained data. So what it was like basically like thousands of pictures. You know how when you go to a website and it's like, click the light post, click the car, click the stuff, that's all data used for AI training. So he started a company where it was all training data for AI. And all it was just people sitting in a warehouse clicking pictures and labeling pictures and describing pictures by hand, and then feeding that into an AI training algorithm. There's also that website, that company that made a website where it's like, oh, we'll make apps and whatever for you. You just describe it to us and our AI will make it for you. And then it turns out it was actually Indians. That one literally was. Because remember, it has to be better than humans and cheaper than humans. And right now it's kind of not. Altman's user. Oh, dude, it's all the AI tech bros I can't stand. Like, it's such a culty thing. I honestly think it's a cult. I watched a clip where somebody's like describing, it's like, yeah, it's like religious to them. Like they believe AGI is around the corner and they have to usher it in because of, Rocco's basilisk and everything, and they're working hard to do it. And it's like, it's not AGI. It's not that. You're just making, you're just making really good predictive text. Same as the Bitcoin bros. Yeah, luckily though, unfortunately, the Bitcoin bros didn't, our entire economy didn't hinge on monkey JPEGs or Bitcoin. AI is our entire economy right now. Shoving AI, that's half the reason I'm getting off Windows, is the freaking, I hate that they're shoving AI into everything. For the record, I don't do anything with AI. I don't use generative AI for anything on this channel at all. Like, I don't use it for script writing. I don't use it for thumbnails. I did for a little bit, when it was kind of new. I think everyone kind of played around with it when it was fresh and new. And then everyone's kind of realizing how shite it is. And like, if you're that guy who uses AI for your thumbnails and your pictures and whatnot, you're now that guy and you get more blowback than you do praise. So it's not worth it. Grocko's Basilisk. Oh yeah. Don't post your picture on Twitter because people are literally, if anyone who's a woman, people are doing it to kids where they'll just go at Grok, put them in their bathing suit. And Grok's like, okay, I'll do it. So yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Okay, I have to connect the neutrals on the low voltage sides of these, right? So I have to go from like VIN negative to VIN negative on this, right? Because these are connected, the high voltage stuff is connected. So this is actually kind of a nice setup. All the high voltage stuff is right here. Like, oh, in the SSR with the little, don't touch this. Don't touch these. But all the high voltage is right here. So low voltage. I probably should have put this over here and this over here because this I'm gonna have to run all the way to here. And this go there once, and this is gonna have to go like twice, but whatever. But 98 of AI in Springfield monorail bullshit. Oh yeah, yeah. Like I understand like encoding and whatnot. Like people do programming and coding. It has a bit more use case there, but that's for that, not everything. Okay. Phase your PSU. Yeah, so I got to go from 24 volt negative here to 48 volt negative. I just got to connect the negatives. Sign language interpretation. Yeah, there are use cases. I know in medical it has use cases like cancer diagnosis. Like here's a picture of a mammogram and it could find the cancer really good and really quickly and reliably. There is valid use cases of AI, but it feels like they're just kind of coming up with every like barely functional use case for it and then shoving it in everything and telling you, nope, this is the future, you have to use it. And it's like, dog, I don't need AI in Microsoft Paint. I don't need AI, I don't need Copilot in Notepad. Like if I want to use an AI app, I'll use an AI app. Don't try to make every app an AI app. If I want to use an AI app, I will use the AI app. By the way, I don't want to use the AI app. And then you got the tech bros who are like, oh, you're being a Luddite. Better for analyzing X-ray. Yeah, like it does have valid use case, and I'm pretty sure the medical field is one of the few fields where it's like, no, this shit actually works here. It actually is viable here. We kind of want it. Okay, so this is 48 volt positive. Oop. Dang it. And 40 volt negative. I get a better screwdriver. This screwdriver sucks. Connecting the two negatives. It has to do with the power supplies because they're kind of connected in here too. It's better for grounding or something. I can't remember. Somebody who's like an actual EE who actually can explain it better. But you want your power supplies to be like synced or phased or whatever the proper term is. So there's like a proper. Okay. There we go. Common ground. Yeah, that's what it is. Shared ground, common ground. Which these do have an actual common ground, but that's on the high voltage side. You also need it on the low voltage side. Okay, so motor power. So this is a bit long, so I'm going to shorten it because I don't need that much. So cut you there. Black boxes, solid state relay, power supply, controller board, Linux SoC, so Raspberry Pi. Good thing I bought a bunch of these before the stream today, eh? Good old Motor Master. I hit up the crappy tire before going out live today. And then don't forget, we do have the giveaway at the end of stream. So if you haven't entered for your chance to win some Polymaker filament, enter for your chance. Link in the video description. Enter. While you're down there, don't forget to like the smash button, ring the bell, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Check out the affiliate links. They don't cost you anything extra. Go a long way in supporting the channel. I think most of the sales are over though, but you can always pick up some gamer subs. And if you want to help support the channel, the content I create, and the things I do, consider becoming a channel member, Patreon supporter, or if you're really cool, gifting memberships to others. Best way to support live streams. Positive is red, right? Yeah, positive is red. And negative is black. There we go. I will put a little clip there to hold that. This is for the bed. So bed out. So positive is that. So that means I am going to cheat and have to run an extra line to power the bed, but that's not a big deal because it makes it nice and simple. Bed is bed. Bed is bed. Right? Bed is bed. Bed is bed is bed. Okay. So now that ain't gonna reach. That ain't gonna reach. So I'm gonna have to make some new cables to run 24 volt from there to there and then jumper it. Okay. So we have some 16 gauge here. Looking pretty clean so far. I try. Okay. So you go from there to there, roughly about there. It's always good to have a little bit extra. I have 100 feet of this stuff. This is speaker wire that I bought for my record player so I can wire up fancy speakers, and I never did. So yeah. Oh, they're there. So now I use it for printers because it's paired, it's clean, it works good, it's 16 gauge, it's multi-strand. The only thing with it is they're tied together so tight you have to like cut it. You can't just peel them apart. Yeah, it's like for the SSR, you could run the solid state relay off of anything. You could use, as long as it's the right voltage, you can use pretty much anything to run a solid state relay. Because like this one is anything for between 3 and 32 volts will run the SSR. So we're feeding 24 volts to the bed, so it'll work on 24 volts. But you could use a 5-volt fan header. You could use an LED, as long as it's switchable. So, but I find it's a lot of time, especially builds like this, where you're going off script, where it is like, you know, oh, we got 2 power supplies, it's a tool changer. Whenever you go into something where like, if you come back to this a year from now and you have to faff around with it, sometimes trying to keep stuff simple makes sense. Like, you know, an LDO kit might tell you to use, you know, the hot end, but all LDO kits use the hot end to control the SSR. They're wired up for that. So it makes sense that you would wire it up that way. But this isn't an LDO kit. So it's like, okay, shoot, I got this wire. What runs the SCR? It's bed. Well, bed is bed. So we plug it into the bed. Yeah, it's a little annoying because I have to run an extra power line to that. So because the bed out requires a bed in. So I have to run a bed in. But bed is bed. And it's simple. Now, I could literally run a little jumper wire from like an always on fan to there and use that. I could. Or I could do what I'm going to do here, where I'm going to run 24 volts to the power in, and then I'm just going to make a little pigtail and just go from power in to bed in. So there's a bunch of different ways of doing it. Actually, I realize these I got to put ferrules on. 1 second. Yeah, put some proper ferrules on this guy. Ooh, nope, I don't like that. I don't like that. I broke that. So, HEO is bed if you squint hard enough. There we go. Come on. There we go. Where is my crimper for that? Here it is. If you don't have a ferrule kit, go on Amazon right now and buy a ferrule kit. They come with all this and a crimper. You will find so many use cases for this. It's one of those things that, like, if you do anything with electronics or whatever, like, just having one of these is so nice. Just get yourself a ferrule kit. You will find a use for it. It will be nice to have. Also, whenever you crimp something, always give it a little tug just to make sure it's actually tight. You don't want to crimp it, assume it's tight, put it in, and then find out it's not. And then it no worky. Where is my little screwdriver? Oh. Okay, so this, we're going to need 24 volt positive. Put you in there. 2, 3, and then 24 volt negative. So I do like that the fact that these are color coded. I don't know, can you see? Or actually, one second. Why bother moving the printer when I could just pull this out and show you? So, same power supply. So I do like the fact that these are color coded. So the green is 5 volt. Positive, negative, and these. It would have been nice if there was like a little divider between the positive and the negative here instead of it just being continuous black, but just be careful. So that, but I do really like the fact on this side, they have 2 connectors for the positive and negative. That is really nice, because a lot of time you have, like, you know, power in and then bed. So now you don't need to deal with like a bus bar or stacking ferrules on there, because you're not supposed to stack them. You know, we all kind of do. I mean, I've done it on here already because I have 3. I have power in, bed in, and then jumper from there to there. So obviously I had to stack them somehow. So they are stacked, but I'm gonna have a drink. I'm thirsty. Well, we only got 20 minutes left on the stream, so we'll finish wiring up the electrical. And then I'll grab a zesty beverage and then we'll do the giveaway. Sound good? Sound good. I gotta start cleaning. I gotta clean up out here. The Tuesday stream might be a clean up organized stream. We'll see. Okay, so power goes to there. So there, and that goes there. So we'll cut here. My knife. Wire stripper. go. Now I need to make one more little one. So I'm just gonna salvage this guy because I don't want to waste even more. So you're gonna go from there to there. Cut you, boom. I have to clean up here. Oh, I did organize the garage recently, but it's like now that I've got like this build underway and like we're done with the Delta Flyer, I got to do some organizing. Also, I've got like 3 vacuums at my feet here. One. Yeah, this one. Yeah, it's the LDO. Is it for the Micron? Is that what it's for? Also, we are going to power the power supply off of this. I'm going to give it 5 volts from this for the Linux SoC. This is a Pi 3. I'm going to be swapping it out with a Pi 4. But I just left it in there for now because it's already there. So bed power. So we got positive and negative for bed power. Okay, we'll go with this. So that's negative for bed. Okay, now we're gonna have to do a double stack, which I don't like doing, but we're gonna do it anyways because, you know, we're cool like that. So, oh yeah, you. Okay, that's where we go. So, negative, positive. You go there, and I gotta unscrew. Unscrew it more. There we go. Get in there. Come on. You go there. And you go there. There we go. Come on, come on. I have no idea what kind of camera angle you guys got right now, by the way. Oh, wow, that's a great view. That is the greatest view in all of 3D printing right there. Oh, that better not be. 1 second. Is that a wire? Or is that a hair? That's a hair. Okay. There we go. Okay, so negative black, positive red, negative black, positive red, negative black, positive red, positive red, negative black. Okay, so that's gonna go there, and that's gonna go there. And then what else? I think that's it for power. I'm gonna have to power 24 to that, but that's something I can make later. So that is all the main stuff wired up. So if you want to take a look, so this is all the mains. So we have 24 volts going out into the in. Got all the mains in here. We got 48 volts going to the 48 volt on that. We have a little jumper to bring from power to bed in so that we can have bed out. I am gonna have to run a line from the 5 volt to this guy. I'll have to do that. And I think that's a pretty good spot. So now we got to finish hooking up the rest, but that won't take too long. So we'll do that next stream because we got 12 minutes left. Got 12 minutes left. Taylor, please describe floating light bulb in the back. It's a little floating light bulb in the back. What about it? Like describe? It's a light bulb. It's got a pretty rainbow in it and it spins. And that's my signal. That's how I know if the power goes out, because it requires electricity to function. And if the power goes out, it falls over and it doesn't spin anymore. So if I come out in the garage and I see that not spinning, then I know the power went out. Because I can't trust the computer, because Windows will just randomly update and turn off the computer sometimes. So I can't trust the computer to tell me if the power went out or not. It's freaking Windows. Okay, so we'll just leave that for now. Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to put little cover plates around the outside here, but that's not a big deal. That'll take me a couple minutes to print up something. All right, I'm gonna have a beer. Who wants a beer? Anyone want a beer while I'm in the fridge? Let me know. Too late, I'm back. Take two. Well, they're right here. You just got to come get them. I have one left. Molson's? No. Alexander Keith's Indian Pale Ale. Top chat instead of live. I know it's annoying. I wish you could go into like your YouTube settings and set it to like permanently be live chat, but nope. Nope, nope. I don't see Wagos. Maybe how do you handle the wires going from the power inlet to both power supplies? I go like this. Okay. So you got power supply. Oh. Power supply. Power supply. Inlet. Okay. So I'm just going to do one. Okay. So how this works, this is your, this is 24 volt, this is 40. And this is in. Okay, so how the wires are run, this is like, for example, the positive. I have positive going from there into the positive in of the 24 volt. The 24 volt has two connectors. And then I have the other connector goes from there to there. And that's the positive. And then like the negative goes into the negative and then goes across to the negative. And then the ground, which is, you know, we'll use brown. The ground comes out of that into there, and then I have another one go there. And then for the bed has a ground, and I just double stacked it. So the bed just comes in and it's just double stacked to that. And then That goes to that. And then the live one for the bed, which is green for whatever reason, goes to the SSR and then into that. So it's like that. Easy peasy. This is how we used to do it before Wagos. You just double stack them or whatever. So yeah. Yeah, like you could have a Wago block terminal and just run everything to the Wago and then distribute from there. But since the power supply has, I'll show you here, since the power supply has two in, so you have positive come in, go to like, you know, live in, and then you use the other the other live terminal and just run that out to the other power supply. Easy peasy. Back in my day. Like here, we'll go take a trip down memory lane. Remember we got at 11 o'clock, we're doing the giveaway. So if you haven't entered for your chance to win some polymaker filament, do this now because we're gonna be doing the draw at the end of stream. Vault. Pictures. Ron. Let me see here. How far back does my Voron folder go? This is from early days, but I don't have it all. Sort by date modified. There we go. So this should be the oldest down here. Yeah. Okay. So, let's take a look here. So for example, this is what this printer used to look like. Like this printer was originally a V1.5. So this is what it originally looked like back in the day. And then the wiring on the V2. This is, you know, V226, the printer in the basement. No, not that picture. Here we go. This is how it was wired up originally. So this is how I wired up my very first Voron V2 back when it was a V2.0. So you have the inlet come in, you have your LRS 224, which by the way, that power supply, this might be it. It's either this one or it's still in there. I honestly don't know, but it's the same power supply. So yeah, and then like, so this is before, so this is actually, the bottom plate you're seeing here is an aluminum plate. It's a 3mm aluminum plate and the power supply is mounted directly to it. I have a duet with the Voron 2 expander designed for ramps that Andre on the Voron team designed this little expansion board to actually make it connect to the duet. So you could buy, back in the good old early days of Voron, if you wanted to go fast, you had to use a duet because Clipper wasn't a thing yet. So you would basically buy a duet and a duex, or you would buy a knockoff duet like I did and buy this little expander board and put some TMC 22.8s and forced into spread cycle mode by jumping them or whatever it was, or one-time programming them or whatever the trick was. But yeah, this is the wiring on my very first Voron V2. Look at that beautiful Cat 5 wire. Back in the day, this is how we did it, boys. Cat 5, and it died so quickly. Look at that, look at that. I sleeved all the wires. I made them all look pretty. Jeez, good old days. Yeah. This is V226, that printer that the Voron I have in the basement. This is what it used to look like back when it was a V2.0. So if you want to know why the extrusions on that V2 downstairs go this way instead of front to back, it's because that's how it was on the V2. Was it stranded or copper? I was stranded. They still all died. I was actually the beta tester for tape chain. Tape chain. Good old tape chain. What version? This is V2.0. This is like version 1 of the V2.0. Like this is V2 serial number 26. We're up to like, what, 10,000 now or whatever? geez, I'm going through all these old photos. Oh man, these are so many years ago. The original layout of the Taco Raven before it was Taco Raven. If you know, you know. What else? What else? I got a bunch of stuff in here. I'm going through it all. Oh, one of the early CAD revisions of the V0, back when it was supposed to be on rods. Another early revision of the V0. Again, back when it was on rods. I think this is when we were designing with like 4mm belt in mind or something like that. For those that don't know, this is V24, which is now Phoenix. Yeah, this is all the wiring cleaned up after I got it all done. So this is... So for those that, you know, I ran RepRap firmware on a V2 for a long time. I keep cutting away because I don't know what is in this folder, if I can share everything. I think I might have some family stuff in here somewhere. I'm trying to find if I have like the original V0 test movement pictures. Don't think I do. I had a video of me doing like beta testing on the original V0 motion system, and it was annoying, but I don't think I have that video saved. Oh my god. I have some of the original thumbnails from the original streams. Oh god. The original logo. Nero 3D printing. Oh my god. Yeah, more early V0 designs. Fun fact, the original V0 design only required 1 or 4 extrusions at some point. Yeah, I don't think I have any videos of that stuff. It's been so long. Oh, V2.1. Early building of V2.1 here. I don't think it was V2.1 for that long. I don't think it was a V2.1 for that long. Before we switched to V2.2. Yeah, I don't think V2.1 lasted that long. Or was it V2.2 that did? I think it was V2.1 that didn't last that long. Yeah, all old stuff. It has been so long since I've looked at so much of this stuff. It doesn't seem that long, but it's been like 5 years. Oh, this is when I put Clipper on it. So when I finally switched it over to Clipper, I had to put a Raspberry Pi in there. So that's like a Raspberry Pi 3. Look how I stuffed the buck converter to power the fan. Because I needed 5 volts or 12 volts or whatever to run the Noctua. So I just kind of shoved what a sketchy setup. It's like, that'll work. An IDEX? Eventually. I mean, here's the thing. I build what I like building or what I need, and the problem is IDEX isn't something I need a lot of. I have tool changers. So, okay, let's do this giveaway. If you didn't enter for your chance to win some Polymaker filament, you'll have another chance on Tuesday. To sheet, create. names, Control A, delete, Control V, file, save, and then we open marbles. Preen rails. Yeah, back in the day, what you would do is you would print brackets, like you saw them in the picture. You would print brackets and then just hang them off the extrusions on the side. So here, I'll show you. Oh no, where'd it go? Here. Yeah, so what you would do is, where'd it go? Just have that picture open. Yeah, this won't work. So what you would do is you would just print little brackets and then mount it. So see how the SSR, by the way, this SSR is still mounted exactly like this in that printer. I haven't changed it. It is still mounted like that. But see, you would just mount these, print these brackets, and you would just mount everything to the sides. That's how we did it back then. You just mount it to the side and hang it. The good old days. Continue, race, random, add, names, clear, open, names. We got, what much we got? We got 253, finish, random, bots, 253, play. Okay, so how this works is if you win, you get a spool of filament from Polymaker. But if I pick your ball and you win, you also get a free hat because you're cool like that. So we'll go with this one right here. Who is that person? Tinkerwell. If you win, you get a free hat along with your spool of filament from Polymaker. Good luck. Remember, like the smash button, ring the bell, and be subscribed to the channel. It will actually, potentially, maybe somehow increase your odds of winning. I don't know how, but the universe can work in mysterious ways. Also, exclamation mark zoom zoom makes your ball go faster. Exclamation mark gullible makes everyone else go slower. Can we say gullible? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know how your grasp of the English language is. How your enunciation is. Maybe. I'm hoping you could say gullible. Some people could probably say it. Oop, Popeye's in the lead. Oh! Ex-photo man Tom. Ooh, a lot of people are falling off. Oh! Oh, shoot. Wondering if we had somebody... Oh, somebody sniped it! Abracam. Abracam with the snipe. Heck yeah. Abracam. Who is that? Who is that? Control F, Abracam. Okay, it looks like a lot of you guys want to see RC stuff and drones. That seems to be a common stuff. Okay, so I'll look into doing that more on the channel. Cool. So congratulations, Abracam. You will get an email from me after the stream ends with information on how to collect your filament from Polymaker. Woo, golf claps in chat. Ooh, I got a collaboration opportunity. 1 second here. Maybe we could shit on some AI company. Half the time I get an email, it's like, oh, we want to collaborate. We're an AI generative model company. It's like, no. Oh, it's Temu. F off. It's always Temu. Compose that. Ooh, I got an email for some custom work. Sweet. I gotta check my spam folder. The spam folder, my spam folder lately has been going crazy with like random companies trying to get me to promote the shadiest shit ever. It is sad. What's honestly, you know what the saddest part about being a YouTuber in like a niche field like additive manufacturing like this is we all get the same emails. We all get the same emails from the same companies. So it's kind of sad when you see who takes some of these offers and you're just like, yeah, I kind of expected you to be the one promoting that. This one's in Chinese. exciting collaboration for your 3D modeling channel. My name is Carl. I'm a talent manager at Place. I've been following your amazing YouTube content. That's a lie. This shit ain't amazing. And I'm truly impressed with your expertise and passion for 3D modeling and printing. I don't 3D model on this channel. Oop. Your work is highly respected within the community. That's also a lie. We are reaching out to explore the possibility of collaborating to promote our item, Hitem 3D platform. Oop, I should have said that. AI powered modeling, high resolution output. No, freaking AI slop. Get that slop shit out of here. Slop. AI slop. You see the president of Microsoft is like, please stop calling it slop. And I'm like, I'm gonna call it slop even more, micro slop. You should do iKex. What is iKex? iKex. What is it? 3D printer? iKex 3D printer? What the heck is this thing? Quad extruder. It's... Wait. Is it? Okay, these pictures suck. Show me the actual motion system. Why would I need this? It's a tool changer, but even more complicated. Why would I need this? I would have no need of a printer like this at all. A tool changer makes way... The only advantage this has is if you're doing mass production of the same thing. This is like the only thing it makes sense is if you're doing mass production that you need to do 4 at a time. And then just get 4 regular cheap printers, because what's the print volume? Okay, 1,300 US. You can buy 5 Centauri carbons for the price of this, 4 or 5 Centauri carbons. How big's the print volume? Does it tell me the print volume? Okay, there's 400, but how big is it when you're using each one? So it'd probably be 200 by 200 if you're using all 4. So yeah, 4 Centauri carbons is more efficient than that. That's the IDEX price, not the iKex price. Oh, shoot. Oh, yeah, $16.99 US. Yeah. So with the 3D printed parts, that in China, yeah, $1,800. Yeah, no, that don't make sense. That don't make sense at all. Snapmaker you want, like the only advantage this has is it is a 400 millimeter print volume. Is that 400 like fully... If you're printing with one head, you can use the full 100, or is it like kind of like a bamboo thing where it's 400, but you can only use like 360? Each tool head can only reach certain amounts. That's just another tool changer. It's just another complicated tool chain. I don't get it. This is a printer that doesn't need to exist for the majority of people. It doesn't make sense. If you're doing mass production of single things, it makes sense to have multiple cheap single printers. Because one, you can, if something happens to one, it doesn't take out the whole thing. And two, it's cheaper and more reliable. Because if you have one mechanical, because here, you have all your eggs in one basket. This seems cool, but it's really hard to justify, especially for somebody like me. This would be something I would not use at all. It's just dual IDEX. So quad X. Check out the interview with Dan. Is he the designer of it? Oh, yeah, he did design it. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad design. I'm just saying this printer would have nothing from me building it. Like, I wouldn't add anything to it. As a consumer product, it's hard to justify. It is I think people get a little too tied up when they come out with a fun little project thing. There's a big difference between something that okay, a good example, a very good example is, how come nobody else, okay, except Soval, But you see, okay, very good example. Name me one commercial, fully assembled enclosed Core XY that has 3 independent Z motors. Voron Trident, you know, this is a Seaboard Trident, but Voron Trident has 3 independent Z motors. So you can do quad or tri bed tramming. Why does no other company bother with that? Why do no commercial companies bother with it? Because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make economic sense. It doesn't. Because you just tram it to the bottom, you build the machine square, and use a bed mesh to handle the thing. Why would you pay the extra cost to have independent motors, the extra wiring, the extra drivers, the extra programming? It doesn't make sense. It's perfectly fine just having a square machine, do a Z negative China to just flatten the bed out to the frame, and then just use a bed mesh to dial in the little adjustments you need to do. That's how everyone does it, because it makes sense. But when you're, you know, you're free to have, you know, build whatever you want. Yeah, you can get all crazy with stuff like this. It's like the people building hot ends for speed benches where they have like 5 hot feeds going into one giant melt zone. It's like, it's cool, but there's consumer product and project are 2 different things. So this is a fun project, but as a 3D printer user in what I do, this machine would do nothing for me except collect dust. So 3 independent Zs allows you to do overhangs you would not be able to do with 2 Z motors. The thing is, Helix, who is doing that? Does anyone have any slicing software that I can load a model in that will automatically adjust my bed angle for better overhangs? No. It's all trade show demo stuff. That stuff is all trade show demo. It's like the gantry on this. Look, I can move this gantry independently. Look at that, right? I can move these independently. I can do that too. But just because you can do it, there's a difference from a machine having the mechanical ability to do it and the software supporting it. And the problem is nobody's making the software for it. Nobody's making slicers that you can load in a Benchy that will automatically handle XYZ adjustments. Nobody's doing that. It's all, when you see it done at shows, it's all kit bashing G code together in custom one-off demos. You can't just load up, you know, this model and it'll be like, okay, so, okay, the tool head's gonna tip this angle and then tip that angle, and then the bed's gonna, no, nobody's doing that. There's a reason 5-axis CNC software for some companies costs $20,000 a year for a seat license. There's a reason that stuff costs mucho bucko for licensing. So, like, it's really cool. It's just very, very niche and it's a project. Like, this is a fun project, and I got nothing against the design, but this is not anything I would have any use for whatsoever, because I don't do this kind of printing at all. This is a 400 millimeter machine that with 4 tool heads. My Prusa XL is 360 and it has 5. AI will bring the cost down. For the AI as a project. I don't have room for this. I already have one big printer that's already a lemon. Well, not a lemon, but it's got gremlins. I don't need another. Math on 5-axis CNC. Yeah, there's a reason, you know, the licenses for the CAM software costs a couple $1,000 a year for licenses. I think I'm trying to remember, I'm pretty sure one of the softwares that the shop I worked for one of the CNCs was like 10 grand a month or something stupid like that. What have I done with the VisiBot? I've printed stuff with it. It's down here. I haven't actually printed with it in a while, but I'm talking about the Venture XL. That I've printed stuff with. That I have stuff on the ground I've printed on it. But the VisiBot is just a big, it's a 300 by 300 by 400 printer. It's just a big printer. And then the, yeah. Ooh, okay, are we gonna call it there? How long before you replace the XL with a Phoenix? I don't know if I'll be building a Phoenix anytime soon. The problem with Phoenix is there's no kits. Phoenix is still in that final stage of ironing out the bugs last I checked in on it. It is functional, but like nitpicky. They're nitpicking all the fine details last I checked in on it. The issue with the thermal expansion is a big problem. Like that's something that like for example, my Venture XL, I can only print in it when the machine is heat soaked and the beds are above 80. Because I literally have to readjust my gantry for different temperatures because the frame expands so and contracts, and like the frame changes dimensions so much on different temperatures. So yeah, shit sucks. So yeah, imagine trying to come out with like a Voron of that quality that doesn't have that issue, right? Also, kits are going to be a problem with the Phoenix because of the size. Mastercam can cost $5,000 just for 3-axis. Yep. Hardware locked in, working on documentation. Oh, okay, that's a better, closer update. I haven't checked in on it in a while. What do you think would build a printer frame out of that? Wouldn't have thermal issues? Think you build a printer frame? What do you think? Well, here's the thing, Steve. You could build it out of a lot of stuff that wouldn't have issues. You could do a cast granite frame. You could. It's going to get it really heavy. You can use titanium. It'll get really expensive. There's a lot of materials that you can build a frame out of that wouldn't have those issues. The problem is it's not viable. So, Orange Storm. Well, the Orange Storm is open frame. The problems I had with the Venture XL with the frame issues didn't prop up until I enclosed it. We already did DDS. We already did the draw. Back to wood. Wood would actually probably be okay, except for mounting the motion system to it. Probably be a little hard. I think they switched gantry parts to printed parts. I'm going to check in with Physec to see. Because I'm wondering, because the problem is the AB motor mounts and the XY joints. The AB motor mounts are what lock the frame, because here's the thing. The XY joints, the entire X-axis grows. The entire printer grows 0.4 mil overall from top to bottom when you heat it up. The X-axis is inside the printer and expands even more, okay? And it's dissimilar metals because you got steel and aluminum. And so they expands even more because it gets even hotter than the actual frame, because the frame heat sinks to the outside at least, but inside there, it just expands. So what happens is your Y rails get pushed out. Okay, so your Y's like this, and then the gantry in the X grows and the whole thing just goes like this and gets shoved outwards. At the front, because the gantry is a U, it can kind of splay open a bit, which isn't optimal, but it can kind of do that. At the back, it can't, because you have the AB motor mounts, which are metal. And then your XY joints are also metal. So you don't, it's literally just constrained, which is why on the print that had the issues, you can see that waviness? That waviness is from the ball bearings grinding in the carriage. You don't see it on the other axis because the X is fine, but on the Y, you see this. Because you can literally, if you grab the gantry, move it front to back, you can feel the balls in the carriage going as they feed through. So it's not optimal. The Vision Miner V22 has a stainless frame and enclosure to help with thermal expansion. Yeah, it's also a $20,000 printer with a support line. There's a difference between stuff you design that can be built at home with off-the-shelf stuff and a $20,000 machine to print Peak. They are completely different ecosystems. Stainless expands less? Yes. Yes, it does. Trident or 2.4 for a tool change. Stealth changers work better on V2.4s. So if you plan on building a stealth changer, V2.4. That's what we're doing. $15K. Okay, $15K. Sorry, I'm going off the Canadian price. 4 on peak machine. I printed Ultim 1010 on one of my Vorons. It can print. There's a big difference between being able to extrude the filament and being able to reliably print the filament. And when you're paying $300 a spool, you want it to be able to reliably print it and get the actual mechanical properties of the print out of it. There's a reason the Pantheon behind me here costs as much as a used car. How many tool heads? Drawny, you have to check. I think it's 4. I think it's 4, but you'd have to check. And it depends on which one you're doing, because there's different tool heads are different size. So like the ant head, it's like 4. If you go with A4T, you might not be able to fit 4. We're doing 4 on this, and it's a 330. Okay, I think we're gonna call it there. I think. Stainless stream and minimizing the amount of aluminum will help with thermal expansion, not hard, honestly. I would say that's yeah. Yeah, always build the smallest, the smallest printer you need. I think it's like 12K instead of Contact Dust. Yeah, the moment you see like Contact Dust as the price, you know you're gonna have fun times. Okay, I think we're gonna call it there because it's getting late. And yeah, I don't know if we'll continue on this on Tuesday. We might. I need the weather to clear up a bit so I can build a shelf, because we gotta get the other side of the. I don't think I have the camera. No, the camera's not on. We need to get the other side of the garage set up properly so we can do some more faffery with processing stuff for like the power armor and whatnot. But we are going to call it there. So I want to give a huge shout out to Polymaker for the spool of filament we gave away this stream and every stream. Links for them and more in the video description. Affiliate links don't cost you anything extra, go a long way in supporting the channel. Some of them, like Gamer Subs, use code Canuck, save some money. And for those that donate to the channel, gift the memberships to others, or became members of the channel yourself, I thank you for not being able to do the things I do, create the content I create. Without your continued support, you make it all possible. And I think that's about it. Yeah. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe out there. Wash your hands, and I will see you in the future. Good night.